The cobblestone streets of Willow Creek were eerily silent as I made my way through the darkness. My footsteps echoed in the quiet night air, the only sound breaking the stillness of the night. The dim glow of street lamps cast long, twisted shadows along the narrow alleyways, creating an atmosphere thick with foreboding. As I approached the edge of town, a distant rumble filled the air, sending shivers down my spine. The sound of wagons creaking and chains rattling reverberated through the night, like the groans of tortured souls. I quickened my pace, my heart pounding as I first saw the carnival's looming silhouette on the horizon. Willow Creek's townsfolk had gathered in clusters, their faces pale with fear as they cast nervous glances at the carnival's sprawling tents. The whispered rumors floated through the crowd like a dark fog, tales of vanished souls and sinister apparitions haunting the carnival's twisted attractions. I approached a group of old-timers huddled together near the town square, their voices barely above a whisper as they exchanged fearful glances. "You reckon it's true what they say about the carnival?" One muttered, his voice trembling with uncertainty. I reckon so," another replied, his eyes darting nervously towards the distant silhouette of the carnival. "There's dark forces at work here, mark my words." I listened silently, my heart heavy with apprehension as I absorbed their words. Despite the townsfolk's warnings, I felt a strange pull towards the carnival. This curiosity gnawed at the edges of my mind like a persistent itch. Ignoring the crowd's fearful whispers, I pressed on towards the carnival grounds, my footsteps quick and purposeful. The air grew thick with tension as I drew closer, the scent of stale popcorn and sweat mingling with the metallic tang of fear. The carnival's tents rose from the earth like specters in the night, their twisted forms illuminated by flickering torches and dim lanterns. Shadows danced across the canvas, casting eerie shapes against the night sky as I made my way through the maze-like corridors of the carnival grounds. I could hear the distant strains of music drifting through the air, haunting and ethereal, luring me deeper into the darkness. My pulse quickened with each step, anticipation mingling with dread as I approached the heart of the carnival's mysteries. But as I stepped into the swirling chaos beyond, I knew there was no turning back. Whatever awaited me within the carnival's twisted attractions, I was determined to uncover the truth, no matter the cost. A chill swept through me as I stood at the threshold of the carnival's gates, causing goosebumps. My heart hammered against my ribcage, a cacophony of excitement and trepidation echoing in my ears. With a deep breath, I stepped forward, crossing the boundary between the town's safety and the swirling chaos beyond. Twisted tents loomed overhead, their canvas flapping in the wind like the wings of vengeful spirits. The air was thick with the scent of popcorn and cotton candy, but underneath lay a hint of something sinister that sent a shiver down my spine. Navigating the maze-like corridors of the carnival grounds, I felt like I had entirely stepped into another world. Shadows danced along the walls, elongating and contorting in the dim light. Every corner seemed to hold a new secret, every whisper of the wind a hidden warning. Eerie, haunting, and ethereal music drifted through the air, chilling my spine. It came from all directions at once, surrounding me in a symphony of otherworldly sounds. I caught glimpses of strange attractions and mysterious wonders lurking in the shadows, each one more unsettling than the last. A hall of mirrors twisted and distorted my reflection, turning my image into something unrecognizable. A fortune-teller's tent beckoned with promises of glimpses into the future. Still, I dared not venture closer, fearing what I might see. And looming in the distance, a haunted house stood silent and foreboding, its windows dark and empty. Despite the creeping sense of unease that threatened to overwhelm me, I pressed on, driven by a curiosity that bordered on obsession. With each step, the carnival seemed to grow larger, its twisted attractions stretching out before me like a labyrinth from which there was no escape. As I ventured deeper into the heart of the carnival, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. Shadows flitted at the edges of my vision, disappearing as quickly as they had appeared. Whispers echoed in the darkness, too faint to decipher, but filled with a sense of urgency that made my skin crawl. I knew then that I had stumbled into something far more sinister than I had ever imagined. As I continued to navigate the maze of the carnival grounds, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being drawn ever closer to the heart of its darkness. Ahead, a group of carnival goers moved with excitement, their laughter cutting through the eerie silence that hung heavy in the air. Intrigued, I quickened my pace to catch up with them, hoping to glean insight into the carnival's mysteries. But as I drew closer, a chill ran down my spine, freezing me in my tracks. Without warning, the laughter turned to screams, piercing the night with a bone-chilling intensity. I watched in horror as the carnival goers vanished into thin air before my very eyes, their figures dissolving into wisps of smoke swallowed by the darkness. For a moment, I stood frozen, my mind struggling to comprehend what I had just witnessed. But then, with a surge of determination, I shook off my fear and pressed on, my footsteps echoing in the silence that followed. Undeterred by the ominous sight, I delved deeper into the heart of the carnival's mysteries, my resolve unyielding despite the growing sense of unease gnawing at the edges of my mind. Twisted tents loomed overhead, flapping canvas casting eerie shadows along the deserted pathways. I felt as though I had entered a nightmare, trapped in a world of darkness and despair with no hope of escape. As I navigated the treacherous maze of the carnival grounds, a sense of unease settled over me like a heavy cloak. I could feel eyes watching me from the shadows, unseen figures lurking just beyond the reach of my vision. With each step, the air grew thicker, the darkness pressing in around me like a physical weight. Suddenly, a rustling sound echoed through the night, sending a shiver down my spine. I turned, but there was nothing there, only the empty expanse of the carnival grounds stretching out before me. Heart pounding, I pressed on, my determination unyielding despite the growing sense of dread that gnawed at the edges of my mind. But the carnival's grip tightened with each passing moment, its twisted illusions growing more evil with every step. I stumbled upon a hall of mirrors, my reflection twisting and distorting in the warped glass. Shadows flitted at the edges of my vision, disappearing as quickly as they had appeared, leaving me questioning my sanity. As I pressed deeper into the heart of the carnival, I found myself entangled in a web of deception. Whispers echoed through the darkness, taunting and mocking me as I struggled to find my way. I could hear the distant sound of laughter, muffled and distorted, sending a chill down my spine. The carnival's grip tightened with each passing moment, threatening to consume me whole. I felt as though I were drowning, suffocating in a sea of darkness and despair. But amidst the chaos and suffering, I discovered a glimmer of hope, the true mastermind behind the carnival's sinister machinations. I stumbled upon a hidden chamber at the heart of the carnival, its walls adorned with strange symbols and arcane runes. At its center stood a figure cloaked in darkness, their eyes gleaming with malice as they watched me approach. "Welcome, Olivia," the figure spoke, their voice like silk and steel. "I have been expecting you." My heart pounded as I realized the true nature of the carnival's horrors. Malakar, the ancient entity that fed on the souls of the living, had been manipulating events from the shadows, his influence spreading like cancer through Willow Creek. But as I faced him in a climactic showdown, I knew I could not falter. With every ounce of strength and determination, I confronted Malakar, drawing upon the courage and resilience that had carried me through the darkest nights. As dawn broke over Willow Creek, I emerged victorious, banishing Malakar back to the darkness from whence he came. Though scarred by the ordeal, I returned home more robust and determined than ever, knowing that I had conquered my fears and ensured that the Carnival of Lost Souls would no longer trouble Willow Creek. Thank you for joining us on this mysterious journey into the unknown. If you enjoyed the chills, subscribe, like, and ring that notification bell to stay tuned for more enigmatic tales. Remember, the shadows have stories. We're here to unveil them together. Until next time, stay curious and wander in the twilight of mysteries.